Hi everyone, my name is Rachel and welcome to the French Seams. Thanks so much for joining me again for another video. This is a video I've wanted to make now for a good few weeks. It is all about frocktails. So if you've been following me for a little while, you'll know that back in May, the start of May, I went to a Frocktails event up in Belfast and it was just the most wonderful night. So I want to share a bit of that with you because I've been teasing a little bit about it and also teasing what I was going to wear. So I finally got the time now to sit down and make this video for you. So I have a few notes to help me in this video just because I don't want to forget any details, so apologies if I keep looking down. So the Frocktails was set up by Dressmakers Anonymous Belfast, and in that group it was started by Laura and Claire, and there's also Maureen, Kathy, Sarah and Aileen. So that little group I think wanted to hold this event a couple of years ago. Obviously between this, that and the other, that never happened. So I had wanted to go to this back when it was meant to be held a couple of years ago, but I couldn't go. So when I first saw on Instagram that it was going to be held in 2020, I was super excited. So I got straight onto them. When are the tickets going on sale? When are the tickets going on sale? So it was like buying tickets on Ticketmaster. It was hilarious. I was that anxious to get a ticket. So they went on sale. I got my ticket. That was wonderful. So I kind of in my head saying, okay, I'm going away for the night. 2 small children. Will it be okay? It was absolutely fine and it was great. It was great, I think, from one side because we've had the past couple of years of not going anywhere, to have such a wonderful event to look forward to, and just I think everybody had such a great time. So as I say, it was held in Belfast, which is about a 2-hour journey from where I am in Dublin, and it's just motorway the entire way. So I was so excited that morning. I had my bag all packed, I was going off, I had my snacks and everything for the car, and I literally was like a child at Christmas. It was just wonderful, and the weather was just horrendous. So what should have been maybe a half-hour trip kind of around Dublin took almost an hour. The rain, you know those journeys where you can barely see past the bonnet? Pretty hairy, but it was absolutely fine in the end, but that did not dampen our spirits. So everybody obviously had been planning for this for a long time in advance, like prepping their dress, all that kind of stuff. So it's lovely to see the work in progress. And then finally when we got to the venue, to see everybody's dresses, and everybody looked absolutely marvellous. They really, really did. So I drove up to Belfast, which was grand aside from the weather, checked into my hotel, which is lovely. It was just a Holiday Inn, but it was perfectly clean, perfectly comfortable. Very strange being away in a hotel on my own. Hadn't done that in a long time, but that was interesting. But it was kind of nice just away on my holidays. It was really, really good. So there's a few girls from Dublin who had travelled up as well. So a few of them, well, most of them actually, I knew virtually, but had never met any of them in real life. So that was just wonderful. So we all met beforehand for a little drink, and it was just lovely to meet everybody in person. It really, really was. You felt like you knew them for so long and that you were already such good friends, having never actually met them. And having a drink in the bar in the hotel, first of all, was quite funny because the girl behind the bar was like, "Where are you going?" all dressed up. But it was really, really great. So the girls who travelled from Dublin, or the kind of Dublin area, I should say, there was Sheila O'Kelly. So again, I'll link all their handles below. You probably follow these wonderful ladies anyway, but just in case. So Sheila had a gorgeous, is it Wake and Shift and Dress, Moon and Broad, a Concord shirt and Gilmore skirt by Cashmerette. It was fabulous, the most gorgeous big full skirt. It was just absolutely beautiful. There was Sarah from Incomplete Stitches, whose bag I actually made, which I'll show you shortly. There was Deirdre from Deirdre Makes It Up. She wore a kilo wrap dress and she made her own gloves. Do yourself a favour, go have a look at the gloves. They are marvellous. There's also Louise, so Lululoop, and she had a gorgeous red dress and also a coat, which was just beautiful. And there was also Lisa, who is Lisa Best Detective, and she had the Cashmerette Rose Clare dress as well. So everybody looked just wonderful, and it was so, so nice to meet all those ladies in real life. It was just wonderful. Then a few other girls who were at the event who I talked to virtually again were Louise, so Labelle, who I'll link below as well. She had a beautiful the Closet Core Pauline dress, and she had made it from a pleated plissé fabric. It was just stunning. So I had met her, she was the only person actually I'd met in real life, and we'd been talking, and we had met at the Knitting and Stitching Festival in Dublin, we had thought in 2019. As the night progressed, we realised it was 2017, so we'd been talking for a good long time. So it was wonderful to meet her. Our little kids are about the same age, which was great. And then also there was Christine, who is an Naptime sewist, who sometimes has a YouTube video up here as well. So it was great to meet her in real life as well, because we've been chatting online for quite a while too. So they were the ladies, and then of course I met other people there who you kind of know from Instagram and things, and seeing people in real life, seeing people in 3D as opposed to 2D on your phone, which was just fabulous. So the event venue was lovely. It was called the Chelsea Wine Bar, and it was a beautiful building, a beautiful wine bar, gorgeous huge chandelier in the middle. We had the whole of the upstairs to ourselves, which is great. So we basically packed that area. It was just brilliant, and the night was organised so well. So when we arrived, we got a little drink and we also got a goodie bag, which in there was my little pin. So I'll pop in a picture. This was a, she used to be Pink Coat Club and now Joy Margot. It's a little Frocktails. It looks like those little prefect pins, but I absolutely love it. So I'll pop in a proper picture for you. And then we also got a few discount vouchers in our goodie bag, a little bag of sweets, and then a little card to fill out for the catwalk. So they had a catwalk later on that night. There was a compere and everything who did a fabulous job. He was just great. I don't know what he made of all of us, but it was just brilliant. So there was a little kind of circular area that we walked around and we kind of showed off our dresses to the judges. There was 3 judges there. They were fabulous, including Angeline from the Sewing Bee a couple of years ago. So they were really, really great, and everybody got to strut their stuff walking up and around the big huge chandelier, doing a little twirl, and it was just great fun. I think everybody really got into the spirit of it. Then there was also a buffet, which was very tasty. There's a couple of chicken goujons and chips, which were very nice. And then there was the prizes. So a few people won prizes. There was prizes for different categories. So say for beginner sewers, for over 50, for a hacked pattern, things like that. So the prizes were great. The girls did a great job in sourcing all those prizes for some really, really good companies. And their makes were just spectacular. They really, really were. And then after that, there was the party. So there was a DJ and he was just brilliant. I think he read the room about our vintage, shall we say. So there was classic S Club 7, there was classic Steps, there was an ABBA mashup, there was the Grease Lightning remix, there was an excellent rendition of the Macarena. All of us knew all the actions. It came from back here, muscle memory, and then it was just the most fun. I haven't danced that much in a long time. My watch actually buzzed asking me was I working out. So yes, it was just brilliant. If you pop over to the Dressmakers Anonymous Instagram account, they have a couple of reels and a couple of pictures of the night, so have a quick look and you'll know what I'm talking about. But dancing like that, it was good for the soul. It really, really was. And of course, my dress was fabulous at twirling. And onto what I wore. So I was so happy with this dress. This is the Itch to Stitch Antrim dress, and I wanted to pay a little homage because of course it's probably not intentional from Itch to Stitch at all, but Belfast is actually in the county of Antrim, so I thought that was very, very fitting. And here she is. So the fabric is a Lady McElroy viscose sequined jersey that I got from Minerva, and it's the most beautiful. It's called a surplice neckline, so it's not a V-neck. I had to Google this. A surplice neckline is when it's a kind of a V but brought into the waist seam, so it's not just a V-neck, it's a surplice neckline, which I think is absolutely beautiful. It's got these little gathers here. It's got the most beautiful waistband, a bit droopy here, but when it's on it's fine. A lovely gathered waistband, and then it's got a lovely full skirt. You can hear the jingle of the sequins. It's got pockets, which are just brilliant. So I lined these in just a green cotton jersey. So back in the day when you used to go to conferences, you used to get a load of free conference t-shirts. So I chopped up all these and I made the pockets, which was great. I actually lined the waistband as well with some of that cotton jersey too. And I did actually make a toile for this, which is very rare for me, but I was very glad I did. I thought I would have had to have added length to the waist. I didn't at all. It was perfect. I took in the side seams ever so slightly because on the pattern, this dress actually has sleeves, but I didn't want any sleeves. So the neckline is using a little binding, which I used the soft selvage of the fabric that doesn't have any sequins. And then I used that exact same method on the armhole. So I just made, again, a little bit of bias binding and edges and that came out really, really well. This fabric went through my sewing machine no hassle. It looked like utter carnage when I was cutting it out on the floor, my poor sitting room and my poor hoover, trying to hoover up all these sequins. But my sewing machine didn't have an issue at all. I was expecting to have to unpick every single sequin from the seam allowance. No, it whizzed straight through perfectly. Even the overlocker, it was just brilliant. So I made a size 8. I didn't add any length to it. It was absolutely perfect. As I say, I just brought in the side seams a little bit. In my toile, I didn't think it was too big at the back, but when I actually put on the skirt, I don't know whether it weighed it down or whether it just wasn't gathered enough. I ended up taking about 4 inches out of the back, although the side seams fit perfectly. So that was a bit strange. So I do have 2 darts at the back. But in this fabric, I don't think you'd notice at all. I really, really don't think you would. So very happy with how that worked out. The pattern is layered, which is great because there are quite a few pieces. I found this pattern actually on the Fold Line website. So I've taken to look at the Fold Line quite a bit actually for inspiration. So I find it really good and I'll link it below. I knew I wanted a sleeveless dress, and changing this pattern to make it sleeveless from a sleeve pattern was actually very straightforward. I was worried that the arm size would sit a bit strange on me, but no, it was absolutely perfect in the end, which was great. They have different cup sizes, so I just used a cup because of the difference between my high bust and my full bust, and that worked out perfectly. It's got beautiful gathers here as well, which give great shaping, and there's fabulous instructions on how to gather it into the waistband. I thought the itch to stitch instructions were really, really good. The only other itch to stitch pattern I'd made was their is the Lego tank, a little t-shirt pattern. I think it's a free pattern that I made last summer, so I'd never made one of their full patterns, and I find the instructions very, very good. The pockets in this are fabulous. So I was quite concerned about pockets in a jersey dress, but the way these pockets are done is just brilliant. So let me see if I can find them. Where did they go? So they fit into the waist seam as well. So on the inside, can I show you properly? Probably not. But they actually fit into the waist seam, and then you sew a little bit down the side seam and then a little bit up from the side seam, so they just fit perfectly. They don't droop, they don't flap around, anything. I think the method of instructing these pockets is just brilliant, and I will actually use this going forward in other dress patterns because I just found it so good. I had my phone in this and everything all through the night. It was just brilliant, absolutely fabulous, so I definitely would recommend it. But I'm very glad I just used a plain cotton jersey for the pockets rather than sequined pockets, which would have been a little bit interesting. Yeah. Another thing which the pattern recommended, which I hadn't actually used before, is stay tape for the shoulder seams. So I'll give you a quick peek. So there are my shoulder seams there, and there's my stay tape. I'd never used this before, so in every jersey pattern it says stay tape the shoulder seams. I never do, and I'm kind of getting away with it. But I'd actually got this stay tape in the Beyond the Pink Door advent calendar at Christmas, so I said, right, what better time to use it? And it was super easy to put in, really easy to sew, and I think in this fabric, I think it does make a difference because it is quite weighty with all the sequins, and because it does have a huge full skirt, I was just afraid that it would drag down. So yeah, the stay tape in the shoulder seams was a real win. And then of course I finished off with my little party dress from my Kylie and the Machine advent calendar. So happy with this dress. I absolutely love it. I just felt great in this. Of course, I'll pop in a few pictures and everything, but the twirling of this, the pockets, the sequins, I just adored it. And this has been through the wash a number of times now, and it's absolutely great. So they do have this fabric in other colours as well, so I'm kind of tempted, but I think this would be perfect as well for maybe a Christmas party or something a little bit more wintry as well, but absolutely love it and just so pleased with it. I really, really am. So every good party dress deserves a matching clutch bag. And here it is. So again, in the same fabric, and then I've just lined it in a little baby cord that I'd left over. So this is just gorgeous. I knew I wanted a little clutch bag for the night to put in phone and room key and all that kind of stuff. And I had a quick look online, and then I realised that Incomplete Stitches had this beautiful clutch pattern, and Sarah was going to the event. So it's not often that you make something and the designer takes it from you and inspects it. So that was a bit hairy, but hopefully she approved. She actually had a discount in the little goodie bag as well, and I've already bought another of her patterns because her bags are just fabulous. Have a quick look at it. I'll link to her shop below. She does the most fabulous bags. Yeah, Sarah is really, really great. A fabulous bag designer. So this is the FrocktailsNI bag from Incomplete Stitches. It's not designed for a sequin viscose jersey. No, but we got over that. I just interfaced everything, and when I say everything, I mean everything, and I lined it in needle cord, and it came out pretty well, and I'm very, very happy with it. So it's got a little boxy bottom, so it's quite roomy, and it's got little flaps at the top. I put in a little just-in-time label because I finished it just in time. It's got a lovely zip, and it's got lovely zip tapes here as well, which give a beautiful neat finish. Then it's got a front pocket, so I just added that little button as a design feature because I tried to do a buttonhole. Whatever about sewing with sequin jersey to make a bag, don't try buttonholes. It just didn't work. So that's kind of hiding a little buttonhole that went awry, shall we say. So I've just got a snap then on the inside, and it's got a lovely little pocket in here as well. So it's just the most fabulous pattern. It holds loads, it really does, which is great. It's got fabulous instructions. She has written instructions and then the most fabulous intricate diagrams, which are really, really great, really useful. It does have quilting options as well, which is great. So if anybody is into that, then I think that would look beautiful. As I say, I absolutely interfaced everything, and it was very, very straightforward to sew. All the pieces went through perfectly, all the notches lined up. It was just a really, really satisfying sew, and I just think it looks great with my dress. I think I will end up making a few more of these little bags. Actually, I think they would be great as little presents again. I'm all about making little presents that you can put things in. I think it's really, really sweet. So yeah, absolutely loved making this. So I would encourage you to have a look at the Incomplete Stitches website. She has some beautiful bags, and she has sew-alongs as well for some of them, which is really, really great. So yes, that's my little FrocktailsNI bag and my matching dress. I forgot to tell you what I was wearing actually today. This is one of my latest makes, and this is the Made of Patterns strip tee in beautiful grey cotton jersey from Ecobee, and it has a little rainbow strip down the back. You can see that. So yeah, absolutely love this. I've been wearing this an awful lot actually because it's nice and sunny again today. So that was everything about Frocktails. I hope that gave you a little overview of the night. Again, it was just fabulous. I was just so happy to meet all the lovely ladies and the ones I mentioned earlier. They're just such great people. They really are. And just to have everybody combined in one room to sharing our passion, just chat all about sewing after the past couple of years we've had. It was just wonderful. It really, really was. And a huge thank you to the lovely ladies at Dressmakers Anonymous Belfast. You ladies did the most wonderful job. I can only imagine how much hard work went into it, but we're all really, really grateful. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions on Frocktails or any of my makes, please leave a comment below. I'd be happy to answer. I hope you're all well. I hope you're all safe, and thank you for joining me in this completely self-indulgent video where I just chatted again about Frocktails. You'll see from my Instagram that I couldn't stop talking about it. It was just wonderful. And yes, I'd love to go to another one of those events very, very soon. Maybe we need one in Dublin. Who's with me? Anyway, I digress. Thank you very, very, very much for watching, and I'll be back very soon, I think, with my June makes, if not beforehand. But I hope you're all well, I hope you're all safe, and see you all again very, very soon. Take care. Bye.